Hello, my name is Mark. Trump, this couple days ago, paused a tariff, which is good for the American people, but to me, he cannot stand on business. This man cannot keep his promise. If you want to destroy the American economy, and he already said that a couple of times, and he said he made a promise to the people. He is going to make sure that American economy is going to be the best in the world, even though they are already best in the world. And then he said he going to do a tariff, which he did. But after the economy kind of crashed, he paused it. To me, again, Trump cannot stand on business. That man made a promise before the election. He said, "Hey, promises made, promises kept," but he didn't kept it, and then he paused it for 90 days. So, what do we? To me, what do I expect for the next maybe weeks, maybe a month later, or maybe 2 3 months later? Americans going to act like nothing happened. If you're a Trump supporter, things going to be, hey, my stock is went back to normal. Can finally buy a lot of things. I already lose 7 million or just 7 figures, 8 figures. Now I can buy it back. And there's a lot of discussion about, is this like what is it called? What is it? Stock like information or just marketing something like uh what is it? Marketing scam or just not marketing stocking exchange, stock exchange, not stocking exchange, just stock exchange, like illegal stuff. In my honest opinion, I don't know is that illegal or not, but most of people say yeah, it kind of illegal doing so. Trump tanking the economy, not tanking the, yeah, he kind of did tanking the economy, but tanking the stock market. And then when pause happening, I don't know, he called to someone, but with the Twitter user did something on Twitter and said, hey, Trump pause the tariff, and then people bought their stock back. I don't know is that legal, but some of people said it was illegal, kind of illegal stock information, stock exchange or something like that. I don't know how a stock work, but yeah. But let's see this article by BBC again, by Anthony Zerker. Trump had five tariff goals. Has he achieved any of them? Number one. No, not going to number one yet. Donald Trump announced a massive tariff plan last week that would have upended the global economic order as well as long established trading relationship with America's allies. But the plan, or at least significant part of it, is on ice after the president suspended higher tariff on most countries for 90 days while leaning into trade war with China, which already did. He put 145% tariff, and then China did the same thing. I don't know specific, but I remember they put 104% tariff. So with the partial reversal, is Trump any closer to realizing his goals on trade? Here's a quick look at five of his key ambitions and where they now stand. Better trade deals. Okay, what Trump said: for decades, our country has been looted, pillaged, plundered by a nation near and far, both friend and foe alike. This number one, better trade deals. Trump's trying to say that tariff is permanent or is a negotiation deals. So which one is it? When he was asked in the White House, is tariff permanent or is this like a discussion or negotiation to other countries? He said it can be both. Which one it is, Donald? Because if you say it's permanent, why is not permanent yet? Why you still want to have discussion with other nation? And you already tarnished that relationship with other nation because you're talking shit on television and on your platform, Truth Social, talking bad to that other countries. and you put tariffs on them too. So that's not a good negotiation deals, Donald. I know your country is the most not prestigious, just most marketable country in the world. You're number one at that. You're the best deal ever. But with you ruin their relationship with other country, whether it's allies and foes, you say a bunch of stuff, bad bunch of shit to the country. I don't know if they are going to uh, listen to it, but when you did that charitable auction again, he said that in the charitable auction, or what is it? I forgot the other name. He said that I love when they kiss my ass, something like that, quote unquote, which is kind of disrespectful. You insult them, even though they have to kind of negotiate with you, but you kept insulting them. So I don't know. Let's rate the better trade deals. Trump's original trade plan packed a big punch that landed around the world with a flat 10% baseline tariff on everyone, including some uninhabited island. Yes, that island was full of penguins. I don't know why he put, how much is it? 35 or something like that, and additional reciprocal tariffs on the 60 countries that he said he said were the worst offenders. It sent allies and adversaries scrambling as they stared down the prospect of a debilitating blow to their economies. The White House has been quick to boast about all the world leaders who have reached out to the president to make deals and offer trade concessions, more than 75, according to Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. Which is who? Who was it? You didn't being transparent about those countries, and the other countries didn't say anything either. So either you lie or I don't know. Because the Fox News, I think some Fox News channel or reporter or whatever they are, whichever whoever they are, asked Trump's lackey, who is the first country asked like trying to negotiate, and they didn't answer it, even though it's like, hey, it's okay, you don't have to tell us right away. But with kind of this situation, I think you should tell, being transparent, and said, hey, this country do this, or this country said this, and this country said that. But you cannot. Probably you're gonna get huge back blows if you said that country. So I don't understand why you said that world leaders or who trying to reach out to you, and you didn't say any country. So it's suspicious. It's a sus. Oh, the administration hasn't released a list, yes, of all the countries some Trump said on Tuesday were kissing my ass. Yes, that's why. Oh my God, promising to do anything. And the U.S. has announced it is negotiations with South Korea and Japan, among others. Uh, Japan and South Korea, I don't know if they already announced it or just tell it to their people. The takeaway: America's trading partners have 90 days to strike some sort of agreement with Trump, and the clock is ticking. Uh, which is to me just disgraceful. Number two, boosting American industry. Trump said jobs and factories will come roaring back into our country. We will supercharge our domestic industrial base. Number one, not most industry should be in America because number one, I don't know if it's gonna affect other industry. I don't know if it's going to affect other industry as well. Uh, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but the industry itself, you must be specific which industry you want to bring it back, because not all of them cannot be in America. You need to know which side of the country can take this kind of industry. But I don't know with their global warming type of stuff, but probably they're not going to care. And number two, that's number one that I'm kind of don't know what the fuck I'm saying. Number two, will robot take the charge? Because your lackeys again said that I don't know. I'm going to paraphrase this, and he said something like, uh, "The Americans going to take the little screws out the phone," and then along the line he said that the robot's going to take the job. So which one is it? But again, this is cool. But I think if Trump was a genius or smart enough, he said that, hey, let's have this tariff to make sure that some industry in America is roaring. So balance with sending away stuff maybe in China first, and then bring those jobs from China back to America. Just piece it right away and balancing it out. But you didn't. So you basically trying to force those jobs coming back to America. It's hard to do that. But with this tariff, I don't know. Jobs will be lost along the line. But you already did that by firing a lot of people in your office. So yeah, boosting its American industry is going to be really really hard. Trump has said for decades that tariffs are effective way of rebuilding America's manufacturing base by shielding it from unfair foreign competition. While some factories may be able to increase production and current facilities, more substantive efforts take time. Yes, it takes time, but during your first run as a president, you didn't do any of that by uh, balancing your American jobs and then the jobs that quote unquote they take from America. But you didn't do any of that. You're still doing business or whatsoever. And for business leaders to pull trigger on reshoring their production lines and investing in the new U.S. factories, they will want to know that the rules of the game are relatively stable. The president on again, off again tariff moves over the past week are inherently unstable. However, for the moment, it's difficult to predict where the final tariffs level will land and which industries will receive the greatest protections. It could be car manufacturers and steel producers today and high-tech electronics companies tomorrow, especially with the electronic stuff, because America cannot produce that kind of stuff. Mostly their stuff, that batteries and stuff, it's offshore. That's why things like this you should have common, or just have like a good mindset that you need to balance all of this. If you kind of forced it to just tariff China, it's not going to work. Especially iPhone or any other electronic parts is outside of America. They cannot build in America. If you want to build in America, you still have to buy those stuff outside of America. So yeah, it's complicated. When tariffs are applied and removed seemingly at the president's whim, it's much more likely that companies, both U.S. and abroad, will hunker down and wait for the dust to settle before making any big commitments. Yep, I think people who are in the business of like making phones and making automatic cars, they have to restructure everything with this kind of bullshit. Facing off with China, I have great respect for Winnie the Pooh, great respect for China, but they were taking tremendous advantage of us. China and America needed each other, but they don't realizing it yet. After Trump's tariffs about face on Wednesday, several White House officials, including Treasury Secretary Basson, were quick to say that Trump's goal was to drop the hammer on real villain China. As a China hater itself, especially the hater of President Winnie the Pooh, if you look the bigger picture, America still need China because China still have those kind of material that they need, because the material wasn't even on America. They not cannot produce that material there. They could find it, but I don't know if they can make it there. They are the biggest source of the U.S. trade problems, Besant told reporters, and indeed they are the problem for the rest of the world. If Trump wanted a battle with China, testing each side's tolerance for economics and political pain, he got one. Even if the president and his aides have hinted that they are looking for an exit ramp. On Wednesday, Trump said the blame past U.S. leaders, not China, for the current trade dispute. The prior day, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said the president would be incredibly gracious if China reaches out to make a deal, which China didn't do it. They still want to fight, even though if you will look at China, some I think the secretary of some in China government pull out Mao Zedong video, which is not good look, because Mao Zedong did the same thing with America back then and killed probably hundred to millions of people because how he trying to fight U.S. But I don't know, with C or Winnie the Pooh, things could happen. So I don't know. I hope we could see China's fight on this, or just their battle on this. But I don't know. The takeaway, even if this showdown is one Trump wants, picking a fight with the second largest economy in the world with military power to match comes at enormous risk. Yes, I don't know. And the Taiwan too. Is the Taiwan war is going to happen or not? Hopefully not. And along the way, America may have alienated the allies it needs most in such confrontation, which is yes, with how much Trump insulting the allies. I think I saw in the news some EU guys, European Union government went to China to have discussion or conversation with President Winnie the Pooh. So yeah, things could happen. Raising revenue, Trump said. Now it's our turn to prosper, and in so doing, use trillions and trillions of dollars to reduce our taxes and pay down our national debt. And it'll all happen very quickly. All happen very quickly. During last year's presidential campaign, Trump regularly touted that his proposed tariffs would bring in vast sums in new revenue, which U.S. could then use to shrink its budget deficit, fund tax cuts. Why to the billionaires though? You can do that to a working class or the middle class. Why can you do that? Why it have to be a billionaire and paying for new government programs? Just going to war. A study last year by Nonpartisan Tax Foundation estimate that a 10% universal tariff, which is what Trump has landed on for at least the next 90 days, would generate 2 trillion in the new revenue over the next 10 years. I don't know about that. It's a new study, but I'm still doubting. I'm still press X on that. To put that in context, the tax cuts Congress recently, including its non-binding budget blueprint, would cost approximately 5 trillion over the next 10 years, according to Bipartisan Policy Center. Ooh. But I don't know if Trump still cannot stand on business with this pause. I don't know if it's going to happen. The takeaway again: Trump wanted more tariff revenue, and if he sticks with his based on tariffs, plus the additional levies on certain imports and larger ones on China, he's going to get it, at least until Americans switch to more domestic productions, when the tariff money gusher could turn to trickle. And if you remember, most of, especially foods, they're not here. They're not from here. Most of them, like avocado is from Mexico. Some fish is from Asia. I heard the news, I think, or CNBC or something said some of the no, CNN, food there is from my home country. It's from Indonesia. So I don't know what they're doing, but if this work, I'm gonna salute that. I'm gonna give it 3 claps or 4 claps. But this is going to be hard for American people if it's this kind of like takeaway, like trying to boost, like raising revenue happen. So yeah, with foods, electronic devices not from here, it's going to be taking some years to bring that revenue. And because you say in the next 10 years, the next 10 years is going to be long. So put down that expectation, Mr. Trump. Lower prices for US consumers. Ultimately, more production at home will mean stronger competition and lower prices for consumers. This will be indeed the golden age of America. Right now, you said on day one, after you won the election, before the election itself, if you won this election, you're going to lower the cost, but the cost is up there, my boy. So you already cannot stand on business. What Trump said again, ultimately, more productions at home will mean stronger competition and lower prices for consumers. This will be indeed the golden age of America. But right now, production mostly is not here. It's not there. So it's going to be taking time again to make this happen. So for the next 4 years, you have to figure out something, Donald, because this cannot be happen fast. But you said that you want to run for the third term, which is fucking crazy. Analysts and experts have offered a grab bag of other explanations about why Trump made such an aggressive move on trade last week. Was he trying to drive down interest rates and devalue the US dollar, or bring the world to the table for a new global agreement or trade on trade? Uh, I don't think he was trying to drive down interest rates. I think he just want to destroy it, probably. I don't know. The president himself hasn't spoken much about those kinds of elaborate schemes because he's an idiot. One thing he has talked about relentlessly, is his desire to lower costs for American consumers. We should do that day one, but you didn't. And he has promised that his trade policy will help address this, which is not. While energy prices dipped in the week since Trump announced his tariff plan, that may have been a result of fears that the trade wars could trigger a global recession. The consensus among economists is that new tariffs will drive up consumer prices, as tariffs are tacked onto the price of imports. Remember that? This is like economy 101. And eventually, when there is less competition for US made products, when there is less competition for US made products. Last year, the Tax Foundation estimated that a 10% universal tariff would increase costs for American households by an average of $1,253 in its first year. Economists also warn that lower income Americans will be hardest hit, which is true. This is going to be suck for the lower income people, but with how he said that, hey, this is not for the weak, so that is bad answer, Mr. Trump, Mr. DJT, dumb as fuck. Why would you do that? Just the people just want your just want answers. They're not asking money right away. They just want you to comfort them on this crazy place, or just this crazy time that they're in right now. Just want to say, hey, Mr. President, I'm scared. Can you comfort us? Make sure we could looking forward to this to your presidency, and you said it's not for the weak. That's not the answer, Mr. Dumbass. But it is what it is. It already happened on Truth Social, so yeah. And then now the pause hit. I think the people who scare right now are probably the happiest, even though you did that, make them depressed. The takeaway: an increase in prices is an arrow moving in the wrong direction, and it represents an enormous potential liability for both Trump's political standing and his party's future electoral prospects. Yeah. Okay. In the end, these 5 takeaways, it's good. This tariff goal from him, perspective from him, is good. But if you do that in your first term, and then you kind of criticize, or you can criticize Biden, or maybe have balls, but because you're a dumbass, stupid people, and you have dementia, things like this is going to take time. It's going to be a long time coming. So hopefully this 90-day tariff makes the world restructure everything. They made a game plan. They have to go to take a timeout and then regroup. Now with China I don't know what happened with China, but some people in China probably have a stress right now. But the rest of the world, hopefully they regrouping and restructure everything. But with this, hopefully none of them kiss Trump's ass. But if they kiss Trump's ass, I understand. Not because I want to kiss Trump's ass, but I understand with their maybe economic situation, they just want to make sure that the people in that country, wherever they are, make sure they are good, in the good position. So yeah, hopefully they know what they're doing. I'm hoping that we could maybe go back to normal, but it's not going to be normal the next couple of weeks. So yeah, that's what I think about the whole situation. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe. Goodbye.